I used to think I was doing everything right, being emotionally available, showing genuine interest, asking thoughtful questions. But every time things started going well with the woman, the same pattern happened again. She'd be excited at first, engaged, present. Then, somewhere between the second and third time we talked, something shifted. The replies slowed down, the energy changed, the tension disappeared, and I had no idea I was causing it. The problem wasn't what I said, it was the energy underneath it. I thought I was being genuine, but I was secretly seeking reassurance in every interaction. My attention wasn't fully present, it was emotionally loaded. I wanted things to work out before they naturally had a chance to. And women feel that instantly, even if they can't explain why. It took me years to notice the pattern. I kept blaming timing, compatibility, modern dating, everything except myself. But eventually, I had to admit the truth. The common variable was me, not my personality, not my looks, the emotional pressure I was unconsciously bringing into every interaction. That realization messed with me more than I expected, because once I saw the pattern, I couldn't unsee it anymore. I started rereading old conversations trying to figure out the exact moment attraction shifted. I started reading books on psychology, attachment, communication, dating dynamics. Anything that could explain why some men naturally pulled women in while other men pushed them away without realizing it. And honestly, the deeper I went into it, the more I started recognizing myself in all the behaviors I used to judge in other men. I started noticing how emotionally attached I became way too early, how one dry text could affect my mood for hours, how I kept trying to do everything right instead of simply experiencing the interaction naturally. I thought I was showing interest, but underneath it, I was quietly asking for reassurance the entire time. That is what women were reacting to, not my words, my need for certainty. So I started changing small things. I stopped checking my phone constantly. I stopped trying to force momentum in conversations. I stopped treating every interaction like it had to become something meaningful immediately. If you want an ideal woman, you can't just love her because of her looks. You have to get out of that. But I know that all men, including the old me, do that regardless of the same exact bad ending. So what I did was, instead of obsessing over whether she liked me, I started paying attention to whether I even genuinely liked her outside of attraction and validation. And weirdly, that changed everything. The less emotionally desperate I became, the more natural attraction she started feeling. Conversation flowed easier. Women started leaning toward me instead of away from me. Not because I learned manipulation tactics, because I stopped radiating silent pressure underneath every interaction. Now pause for a second. I put together a free PDF guide called The Emotional Overload Trap. It teaches you how to stop chasing without shutting down. It's in the description. Grab it. It's free. Let's get back to the video. Here is what most men never realize. Attraction dies faster from emotional dependency than from lack of confidence. Women can feel when your emotional state becomes tied to their responses. The second that happens, the dynamic changes. You stop being emotionally grounded and start emotionally chasing without realizing it. The shift wasn't becoming cold. It wasn't pretending not to care. It was becoming emotionally self-contained. You have to stop asking yourself, how do I make her stay? And start asking, does this woman actually align with my life? That one shift completely changes everything. After years of studying these patterns, living through them, researching them, and slowly understanding them, I eventually organized everything into what became the Magnetic Mindset course. It took me 2 years of research to create this thing. Not because I wanted to sell some fantasy, but because I genuinely wish someone had explained these emotional dynamics to me years earlier before I ruined so many relationships by trying too hard to keep them. The link for it is in the description. And it is not for everyone. It is only for the ones who are suffering with these problems, and also there are only 72 spots left. I hope you understood this video and actually learned something informational. I am dating ASAP. Class dismissed.